games of the Bay Bridge series were all about the A's showing why they have the best record in the majors. Now the action moves across the bay to the shores of McCovey Cove, where Matt Kane will look to turn things around not only in this series but for his season as well. With only one win to show on the year, Kane needs to regain his all-star form next.
The Giants are back home. They're in the friendly confines of AT Park. This is game one of a short two-game series, A's and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me, welcome back, is Mike Krukow. Well, a tough 2 games in Oakland. Well, now the Giants are at home, and they haven't played that well at home, but maybe it's time to start, and they'll give the ball to Matt Kane.
Well, he's a great guy to give the ball to. You consider what he did in 2012 when the Giants won the World Series. He was the guy that had 3 clinch game starts. Well, this is a big-time game tonight, in not only the eyes of the Giants fans, but in that Giants clubhouse as well. Over in the A's clubhouse, it's loosey-goosey. They're having fun. They're on house money. The Giants need to elevate the intensity. They need to get this crowd into this game early, and they need a great outing from Matt Kane.
And 3 home runs. That's all. Just 3. All right, when we come back, Amy G is going to take a look at Matt Kane, and he's pitched well against the Oakland A's. And Amy G will talk all about those outings and more right after this.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
The Bay Bridge series continues tonight after dropping 2 in Oakland. Your Giants looking to even things up over the next 2 games right here at home. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. Matt Kane on the hill tonight for your San Francisco Giants. And with 1 win so far this season, it's fair to say that he's had a challenging year, but he's faced challenges before. Back in 2006, his first full year in the majors, he struggled early on, and then manager Felipe Alou actually skipped his turn in the rotation in mid-May. But Matt earned his spot back at the end of the month to face, you got it, the Oakland A's. It's our AT&T Uverse Rewind this evening, May 21st in Oakland. Kane pitched like he had something to prove. He shut the A's down with a complete Game 1 hitter, the only hit, a double by Jay Payton to lead off the 3rd inning. Kane walked 3, struck out 5, and the Giants won 6-0. And it was Kane's first of 3 career one-hitters. So that's just a little reminder of what Matt Kane is capable of. All right, tonight he's going to go up against Jason Hamill, making his debut for the Oakland A's. Fans get a look at all of the All-Stars. The Bay Area represented well at this year's Midsummer Classic. It's going to be fun to watch. We're going to check in with our Willie Mays Plaza right after these messages.
pitch and do it now. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 64 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 17 miles per hour, so it's a bit brisk. Humidity at 63%, and it's a windy night. Matt Kane leading the Giants out of the dugout, and Kane onto the mound. And the lineup that Matt Kane will be facing, it'll look like this. It'll be Crisp, Vogt, and Cespedes, 1, 2, and 3. And then Brandon Moss, not in the lineup last night, but check what he's done against righties. He has 16 big flies. That's the 4th most in the major leagues. Donaldson will hit 5th, and it's Lowry, Norris, and Callaspo. And pitching and batting 9th is Jason Hamill, the former Cub.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Matt Kane, the 3-time All-Star, making start number 15 on the year. 1-7, still looking for win number 2, a 4.27 ERA. Has not had the greatest run support, which explains the 1-7. And for Matt Kane, for him to be successful against these A's, he's going to have command of the fastball. It sets up everything. When he's right, you're going to see 2- and 4-seam fastballs that he could plant on all 4 corners of the strike zone. He will pitch effectively up or across the letters. He has a curveball, slider, changeup combination, and he'll also cut the ball. And on occasions, even lower his arm angle. But I think what is comfortable most of the time for him is that high 3/4 short arm release. A release that you do not pick up early, and a release that will get on you quickly. 3-5 lifetime against the A's. Is taking over the defense. Playing behind it, Matt Kane tonight, starting the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Morse, Blanco, and Pence, the best arm in right field. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt on the right side, and Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the sides. All right, time now for our Nissan keys to the game. And for the Giants, they need more scoring opportunities. That really comes on the shoulders of the leadoff hitter. They need to get that leadoff hitter on base more. Number 2, return to AT Park. They need the magic of AT Park. They've been looking for it the last month. They have not been able to find it. Tonight would be a great start. Those are our Nissan keys of the game.
They're 25 and 23 at home, and that is not going to cut it. So here's Coco Crisp. And the first pitch of the ball game to Crisp is a shot just fouled down the right field line and out of play. As we get started right on time, it's good to be home at 7:15. Crisp hitting at .295. He's got 3 hits in the series. And Kane to Crisp and Panic to Belt, and that's how this game gets started.
Let's take a look at the pitch grips that Matt Kane will employ tonight. There's a 4-seam fastball, and you see the thumb is right between the forefinger and the middle finger. Here's a 2-seam fastball, and you move the thumb just slightly under the forefinger. That's your sinker. Here is the slider with pressure points on both the middle finger and the forefinger. This is a curveball, and you'll put most of your pressure point on the middle finger. And there you see the thumb and the forefinger form a circle, and that's the circle changeup.
Here's Vogt, who takes a pitch just off the plate, hitting .352, 2 home runs, 12 driven in. Mark Rippiger is the home plate umpire. Adrian Johnson at first, Paul Noward at second, Angel Hernandez at third.
And Ripperger's got a very good strike zone. He likes the ball down around the knees. He doesn't have big corners, but I think he's one of the better breaking ball umpires in the game. He really hangs in there well with breaking balls.
Right on cue.
A little like that. And you'll see a lot of low strikes with Ripperger.
And Vogt, thinking that pitch may be too close to take, fouls it down the left field line and out of play.
This is what Matt Kane will use. About half the time it'll be the fastball. The slider is his number 1 off-speed pitch, followed by the curve and the changeup, which are about equal. But he's also a guy that will ride a hot specialty pitch. If that changeup gets hot, he'll throw it a lot. You won't see many sliders.
And the 1-2 is hit down the left field line and out of play. Vogt started on Tuesday against Ryan Vogelsong, and in that game he went 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. The A's with that three-headed monster at the catcher position, and there's a base hit up the middle. Looks like Vogt likes that pitch down low. And here's Cespedes. Cespedes hitting .260, 14 home runs, 56 driven in. He's 1 for 7 in the series. One thing you always got to be careful with Cespedes is he does swing for the big fly almost every time. And a breaking ball for a called strike. And that's what Sonny Gray did so well last night. He threw that first pitch curveball, and I'll bet he stole 9 or 10 first pitch strikes with it.
Well, if you can flop a curve over in that first pitch, you'll get a lot of guys taking it, because most guys in the big leagues are going to go up there looking for fastball. It's just the way it is.
This little guy end up with it? You know one thing, he's taking a beating. Is he not happy?
He is not.
Mom could care less.
Mom knows who's the guy who's going to appreciate it more right now. She went with the hot hand.
And that pitch is high. 1-2. She brought her glove. Patting young one on the back, saying, "You'll be fine."
Mom's a player, and I tell you right now, Mom can hit too.
I'll bet you she just promised that she'd get another one today.
She probably will.
Junior, however, is not buying it. Popped him up. Kind of a deep pop up to Blanco. And he'll put it away.
Well, from Cespedes and his type of strength, that is a pop up.
So here's Moss. Long face. You seen that long face before?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
That's all part of being one of the youngest ones. We'll get another one, don't worry. And your brothers, they will not tease you.
Mom is not fazed by the long face.
Not. Here's Moss, who takes a strike.
Actually kind of looked like she was enjoying it.
Yeah. Unless you're hurt, she's not buying the tears. It's not a bad strategy.
I've used it.
There's a breaking ball, 0-2. Are you crying because you're hurt, or are you crying because your feelings are hurt?
Oh, hey, easy. Don't be smacking Mom around.
Time for Big Brother to step in.
Yeah. Or Dad.
The 0-2 pitch is wide, 1-2. Kane at the belt. Overshift is on for Moss. And he pulls this one foul. And with the overshift, that means Panic is actually playing in the outfield.
Well, there you see Panic. He's the rover. Short right field. You watch Panic every day, though. He takes a lot of ground balls out there because it is weird.
Yeah, and more teams are doing it. So you have to get used to it. And that pop-up is lifted just to our left, first row of the club level. And that fan had it, and then it fell into the lap of the guy that he was sitting next to. And they're going to have to share it. One ball and 2 strikes.
Now Brandon Moss is in the swing mode right now.
Yeah, Buster Posey knows that. He asked for that pitch to be probably what, somewhere between the belt and the letters.
Yeah, 1-2 count. You throw a slider, yeah, you can go down the dirt at that back foot. You throw a strike right here, the way that he's been swinging at everything, you're kind of doing him a favor.
And another 1-2 pitch. It's coming up. And Moss takes it wide. Tried to throw a curveball.
Yeah, I kind of squirted out of his hand, too. A wasted opportunity with a 1-2 count. Ideally, you want to get something that's a little more inviting, but out of the strike zone. Preferably with that breaking ball down below the strike zone.
And he got him to end the inning. And he threw a good one.
That was a good one.
Hunter Pence to lead things off. Everything's good. Put Junior. For the Giants, and here's Bruce Bochy's starting lineup, and it's brought to you by Coors Light. Pence back in the leadoff spot. You can see his numbers in interleague, followed by Sandoval, Posey, and Morris. Blanco hitting sixth, and it's Panik, Crawford, and Kane.
On the hill tonight for the Oakland Athletics, making his American League debut will be the right-hander Jason Hamill. This is what he has done with the Cubs, 8-5 with a 2.98 ERA. Look at the strikeouts, 104 in 108 innings. And what's significant about that is that he's a sinker ball guy, and most sinker ballers usually have a 1-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. But Hamill's got a great, almost a 4-to-1, a little over a 4-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, almost a 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. And how does he do it? He's got a fastball that, as we mentioned, has plenty of sink on it. It is a fastball. It's going to be low to mid-90s. It's got some steam with a nice hard slider, and that really is his bread and butter. He's also got a curveball and a changeup that he'll occasionally throw, but most of the time you're going to see sinker slider with a nice high 3/4 release.
And Pence offering at the first pitch, fouls it back. Pence hitting .301, 11 home runs, 31 driven in.
She's ready to root for her Giants.
Pence 2 for 7 in the series, and he rolls this one to Donaldson at third. Donaldson will spin and throw, and Vogt stays on the bag, so Pence is retired.
Let's take a look at that defense playing behind Jason Hamill tonight for the A's. Left to right, it'll be Cespedes, Crisp, and Moss. Lowry and Donaldson on the left side of the infield. Callaspo and Vogt on the right side. Derek Norris will be in the squad, putting down the signs. With Jason Hamill. Hamill, a big guy. 6'6", 225-pounder in his 8th year at the big league level.
Here's Belt, and Belt shows bunt, takes the ball. And all that did is it got Donaldson's attention. I'm not sure Belt was going to bunt at all. Belt goes the other way, and this is going to slice into the first row. A nice catch. Belt on the ground. Diving is Lowry, and Lowry is going to throw, and they got him.
Oh, that's going to be close. That might be one they look at. Adrian Johnson, the umpire at first base tonight.
I think that one's going to get overturned.
No, I agree with you.
And right now, Bruce Bochy's getting word. And he's going to go out.
I mean, I do think he beat it. I just don't think it's that obvious to the point where they're going to overrule it.
Well, we had one similar last night with Pablo Sandoval, and you're exactly right. That's how the call went. It went in that area of, well, it looks like it's too close to call, and now Bruce Bochy said, all right, we're good.
Take a look at our Exmo brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. That's just too close.
And you know what? I think he got it.
Yeah, you certainly can't fault an umpire for making a call either way because it was so close.
So here's Sandoval hitting .261, 10 home runs, 36 driven in. And he takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Buster Posey on deck. Bottom of the first inning. Hamill stumbled just a little bit.
There are a couple things in tonight's ballgame that do favor the Giants. Number one, there is no DH. And because of that, and then it is the National League alignment. Pitchers have to hit. That does favor the National League team. The other thing, because Brandon Moss is in the ballgame and has to play the field tonight, Giants really have 2 arms in the A's outfield that are not very good. Coco Crisp, not a good arm. Brandon Moss, not a good arm. The only good arm is in left field, and that's with Cespedes, and it's a very good arm.
Sandoval, a little pop-up that Donaldson's going to give chase, and it's going to be out of reach.
So the bottom line is, get yourself in a situation where you can challenge the outfielders in center and right for the A's, and let Tim Flannery work his magic at third base. There's Cespedes. That's one arm you don't necessarily want to challenge. It's a good one. He's got 10 assists from the outfield this year for Oakland.
And that is shot right by Callaspo, and Sandoval with a 2-out base hit.
Coming into tonight's ballgame, you look at the numbers that Sandoval had against Jason Hamill, and they were not that good.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Sandoval was 3 for 15. It does not. And the reason for it is Hamill is a low ball pitcher, and we've always felt that the low part of the strike zone is a part of the strike zone that really favors Sandoval, who from the left side is a natural low ball hitter.
And Buster Posey waiting for the bat boy to get back after retrieving some of the things that Sandoval was wearing in that at bat. Posey hitting .284. And he takes one right down the pipe, and it's 0-1. One for 6 in the series, although Buster Posey had good at bats last night. Just ended up with nothing to show for it. He's 1 for 8 lifetime against Hamill. And a high breaking ball. It's 2-1. Posey down the right field line, but that's going to be out of play. So it's now 2-2.
Nice play. There you go. Give it to your date.
Give it up.
Commando. Nice going. It'd been easier if you had your glove, Meat, but nevertheless, nice pick.
Not likely Sandoval is going to go anywhere, but Hamill keeping an eye on him anyway. Two balls, two strikes. Right down the middle of the plate, and that'll end the inning. He's an all-star this year, and he's going to lead off the top of the second inning. That's Josh Donaldson. 0-0.
Bruce Bochy would like to see Marco pass one last test, and that's to play 9 innings. Guys, he's slated to do that with Fresno tomorrow and then come to San Francisco Friday, be evaluated. If all is well, guys, Marco Scutaro will be activated on Friday. Dwayne and Mike.
Amy coming up with some good news. How about that?
Amy scoopage.
Way to go, Amy.
It'd be like getting a trade.
Yeah. You have to call her Scoop.
Scoop G.
Scoop G. Here's Donaldson. Donaldson hitting at 240. 240 is not why he made the All-Star team. 63 RBIs and 19 home runs is why he made the All-Star team. Plus, he does a good job at third as well. He's never faced Kane before, at least the numbers that we have. And right now he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Panic or Pence? It's got to be Pence calling off Panic, and he does. Well, this weekend the D-backs are in town on Sunday. It's a 1:05 start. It's the Angel Pagan Bobblehead Day presented by Chevron Extra Mile. Remember, it'll go to the first 40,000 fans, and it's Pagan sliding into home plate. Is inside the park home run in 2013. It was a walk-off. sfgiants.com/tickets. Hit well the other way, but Morris is drifting back. And then one pitch, Lowry's retired. That's a gift. And here's Derek Norris.
Yeah, one pitch outs are just wonderful things. If you're out there on the mound, you're thinking, I want to get a quick strike here, get ahead, throw that. Whoop, that's an out. Thank you.
So here's Norris, 8 home runs, 37 driven in. Norris did the catching last night and went 2 for 3. And the first pitch is wide, 1-0.
Take a look at what Derek Norris has done. Fastball, he's hitting 330 against it. Breaking balls hitting 356. The one pitch that gives him a problem is the changeup, just hitting 182 against. But overall, a 312 season, that'll put you on an all-star team.
Yep, and it did. One ball and one strike. Posey setting up away, and that's where he threw it, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, nice two-seam fastball, and you're seeing a lot of movement with that pitch tonight from Kane, especially when he gets that thing down around the knees. That's the most movement we've seen on the two-seam with him for a while, and I think he's pretty happy with this little adjustment that he has made in his mechanics. And you start to see a little more velocity, a little more movement, and a better feel to put it where you want it. That's what you're looking for.
And maybe not the location, but still, like you mentioned, good movement.
Yeah, and at 93. And normally, if you throw a four-seam and a two-seam fastball, the highest velocity you're going to get is with the four-seam fastball. But here, they tried to backdoor this two-seamer. It kind of winds up going out of the middle of the plate, but still at 93. It was not a pitch that Derek Norris timed very well.
Kane now nodding to Buster Posey, and this is hit to Sandoval. And a roll down to a knee and to Belt in a 9-pitch inning for Matt Kane. Morris Blanco panic coming up. 0-0. On July 9, 1988. At Candlestick, Chris Spire hit for the cycle, and the Giants beat the Cardinals 21-2. The runs scored established a San Francisco record at that time. I remember that game. Chris Spire, good Giant. Here's Morris, down low, 1 ball and no strike. Blanco. And then Panic. And this is hit high to right field. This will be a long run for Moss and for Vogt, but Moss is going to get there and he'll make the catch. And that'll bring up Blanco. Blanco hitting .220, a home run, 16 driven in.
One for his last 17. They really need to get him going.
And 0 for 8 in this series. And there's a pitch high. 1 ball and no strikes.
I mean, that's the one thing that is problematic, is if you have a leadoff guy, and really that's what Blanco is. If you have a leadoff guy that's inconsistent, and meaning that he gets hot and cold, it's just not good. It's the one spot in your lineup you need to have consistency. And it's not so much hits, it's getting on base. And for a guy like Blanco, who's won for his last 17, you say, wait a second, how can that be? He has the ability to bunt. We've seen him do it. When you're 1 for 17, that's the time to start bunting more.
Here, taking all the way, and that's a 4-pitch walk. All right, we're trying to give this guy some tips on how to keep score.
That's right. Get a pencil. That's the first tip.
Right. Start writing in big flies.
Right, HR, 4-bagger, and color it in. That's a good smile right there.
Here's Panic. Panic does not have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 8. With 3 strikeouts. Here's Bochy, might put on a hit and run. And it's down low. It's 1-0.
Well, a hit and run is not a bad philosophy to have against a guy like Hamill, because he gives up so many ground balls. You want to stay out of that double play. You want to move a middle infielder out of position. And Bochy believes in that.
Blanco does have 8 steals. Crawford on deck, and then the pitcher, Kane. Blanco leaning. You figure a guy, what'd you say, Hamill is 6'6"?
Yeah.
He's going to have to be pretty quick. When you got a frame like 6'6", you got to figure out how you're going to get that ball to the plate.
And it's pretty rare when you see a guy that tall have a quick move to first base. Although we've seen the best pickoff move ever from a guy 6'8", Jamie Wright.
That's 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone. And for Norris, that's his limit. 6 straight, I'm going out.
Well, you got to believe that, everybody's got a little adrenaline, and this is a pretty big series. But for Jason Hamill, this is his debut. I mean, up until now, he's been a Cub all year. Now he straps on a new uniform and he's trying to make some new friends in a new town. This isn't the first time that he has had to do that, but that still doesn't make a difference. For Hamill, he's been around a while. Initially came up with the Rays. Your Colorado, Baltimore. Started the season with the Cubs. Jeff Samardzija, Jason Hamill came over to the A's in a big trade this week. And between the two of them, they're 10-12 with an ERA of under 3. Their walks and hits per innings pitched were off the charts. Hamill allowing just 1 base runner an inning. Samardzija not a whole lot more. I mean, that's unbelievable. You do that this deep into a season.
And it's a hit and run, and it's a base hit. And Cespedes kicks it around, and they're going to wave in Blanco. Here's the throw home, not in time. Even at that, it's like, well, he's going to throw him out.
Well, he's got that kind of an arm where he can just throw flat-footed from mid-left field and still have a chance to get a runner, a speedy runner at home. And we're going to make it our forward right choice. Nice at bat from Joe Panik going opposite field like he so often will do. And this is what Tim Flannery sees. The ball flips away from Cespedes. And with Blanco's speed, as he's coming around third base, he looks over at Flannery and gets the go. And he never breaks stride. And the throw off, it's Mark and an easy score. And that's our forward right choice. And the Giants take the lead. And they just got their fan base into the ball game.
There's Crawford who takes a strike. Crawford's 0 for 2 lifetime against Jason Hamill.
Watching Joe Panik sees this ball's going to come towards home, and he knows that's an easy take a second, and he just jogs in, puts himself in score position.
Oh, and 2. Crawford went 1 for 3 on Tuesday. Had a base hit in 4 at bats yesterday, but you can see 3 for his last 29, so he's got a bit of a scuffle going. And Crawford is out swinging.
A nice two-pitch sequence right there. He threw an 88-mile-an-hour changeup and then he 94'd him. You can see why the A's are so excited about Hamill and his ability to put movement and still add velocity in 2-strike counts when he needs to reach back and get something extra.
Here's Kane. Kane's 4 for 24. He has faced Hamill before. He's 1 for 5 lifetime. And right now looking for his first RBI of the season. And he takes another strike. One and 2.
So he goes curveball, 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball. And it paints that outside corner with that last fastball. Did not miss by much.
And Kane hits it weakly to second for Kayaspo. And that'll end the inning. So Panik, he's not going to get credit for an RBI. But with this base hit, coming in to score is Blanco. Banquet timeless moment. It came on June 4th, 1999. Remember, that was the last year at the stick. JT Snow, walk-off sacrifice fly in the 15th. It was off of Billy Taylor, and it gave the Giants a 4-3 win. It would be the only walk-off at Candlestick Park in the Bay Bridge series. And this was the first of 5 Giants walk-off hits against the A's. Is that FP?
Frank Paul Santangelo scoring the winning run. JT with the opposite field fly ball that made it all happen. Candlestick Ladies Day. It's a gamer, babe. Yep. All the way back to 1962. She liked the Ladies Day. But now every day is Ladies Day. Every day is a gamer's babe day.
That's right. Here's Callaspo against Kane, who's now pitching with the lead. Callaspo at 236. And he pulls the first pitch foul. Shoots right past Michael Munoz. He's a rook. That's right, Michael. Took a bad hop. Oh, 2 to Callaspo. One and 2. Hamill and then Crisp. Two and 2. So Kane with 1 strikeout, he allowed the hit to Vogt, and he goes 0-2 to 3-2 to Callaspo. I would think that this would be a pretty decent pitch to hit right here.
Well, didn't want to walk him to start an inning. Head 1-0. Why not?
Belt got it. Belt flips to Kane. Nice play.
That is the big leagues right there. Everything about that hole at bat was the big leagues. Callaspo having a nice AB, putting one right between Belt and Panic. The last thing he thought was he was going to get robbed. But Belt taking advantage of being left-handed. Right-hander, I don't know if he makes that play.
For a guy that looks awkward, very athletic.
Really is, and just soft-handed too.
Hamill pops this one out to Panic, and Panic puts it away. And that'll bring up Coco Crisp. Is this by the Garden?
Yeah, that's the new addition out there by the Garden. They're making designer pizzas. Oh yeah, infusion drinks, salads. Woohoo! If you haven't been to the Garden, go check it out.
Check it out. No boilers out there.
Yeah, no boilers.
Yeah, they do yoga out there, I think. No boilers allowed. Here's Crisp, who shows bunt, and he takes a strike. Coco Crisp bounced out to Joe Panic. Want some blueberries?
Yeah.
I suppose he's had to chase 2 or 3 in the dirt this inning. One ball and 1 strike. And the pitch is a bit wide. Low, 3-1.
Coco Crisp will make you work. He could care less if he gets into a 2-strike situation. It does not affect his approach at all. Good eye, he'll take his walks.
I think Kane wanted that one.
And it's not a pitch that you would see Rippinger call ball very often. I mean, I mentioned he's a low ball guy, and this is not that low. Although I do believe it was called correctly.
I agree.
I've seen Rippinger a couple times, and we've been impressed with his strike zone twice. One of the newer umpires, of which there have been a lot this year since they've increased the responsibilities of umpire. Now they have a crew in New York watching games, handling replays. So because of that, it opened up a lot of new opportunities for young umpires. And what we've seen with the young umpires this year has been very impressive. They've been good.
Vogt bounced a single up the middle. He did that with 1 out in the first, and that's the only hit the A's have. Through 2 1/3. Crisp, 16 steals. And there he steals a strike.
I've seen both pitchers use the first pitch curveball for strike one a lot tonight. Go back when Matt Kane first showed up as a baby, 20 years old. I mean, that was his strikeout pitch. It was a high fastball curveball, and go get him. And along the way, he learned the fastball. He learned 2 grips of the fastball, 2 different type movements of the fastball, the importance of being able to establish knee high, changing sight lines, elevating that fastball up in the zone, come up with a softer breaking ball, slider, a cutter, a changeup. He just learned a lot.
Well, Chris started to go, but then flinched and put on the brakes.
It is go time. I mean, I'm really surprised we haven't seen him bust per second before now. A little bit of lean. Time you have a leadoff hitter on with 2 outs, that's an excellent chance for a stolen base opportunity. 0-2, however, is not a good time to go because it's a great count to pitch out on, and base stealers know that.
See the defense. Pence guarding Triple's alley. Blanco pretty much straight away. And now a pitch out. And it's 1-2.
So I bet that's the first time we've seen a pitch out in an 0-2 all year from Bruce Bochy. But I mean, you have to do it once in a while to let the other team and the scouts know that you will. But fish were not biting.
Now Crisp goes. And Posey's throw. And they got him. And that'll end the inning. And credit Matt Kane for keeping Crisp close. Coming up for the Giants, Pence, Belt, and Sandoval. 1-0 San Francisco.
from Hunter Pence on getting razzed by the right field fans in Oakland last night. He said, hey, they were a lot of fun out there, man. They're creative, they're rowdy, and they're loud. It's a baseball atmosphere. It's fun to play in. They were razzing me a little bit, and he did indeed have fun with it.
Bounced out to third to open up the bottom of the first inning. Here, that ball just grazed his bat, and it's a called strike. And a quick 0-2 with a breaking ball. One and two. See Pence choking up. He usually does.
There's a great story about that.
Bounces this one, and it's going to chew up close just a little bit, but he stays with it. Hunter Pence last night with the fans. He made a really nice catch. And he'd been worked up. He really thought he got hosed on a call at home plate. And he was not a happy camper, so he had some fun.
Well, boys on the bench were digging it.
So here's Belt.
Well, the story about Pence was when he was a kid, he had a poster of Barry Bonds in his room. And in that poster, Bonds was hitting. And when he was hitting, he was choking up on his bat. And Hunter Pence said, well, Barry Bonds can do it, so can I. And that's when he started doing it.
Choking up's not a bad thing. 0-2 pitch to Belt. Well, 1-2.
And that's a great 0-2 pitch. And we've seen Hamill do that a lot tonight with the 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer. And it really is like another pitch. When you put it in the guy's mind, he's throwing a two-seam fastball at 90-91, and all of a sudden, that gauges that in the hitter's mind. You add 3 miles per hour on it, it's a different pitch. Change the speed, change the movement, and it's as dramatic as a curveball to a slider. Different pitches.
Overshift is on for Belt, and Belt's going to take low, so 0-2 to 3-2.
Pretty good take right there, not an easy one. That was another good pitch. That was his opportunity with 2-2 to make another location to his desire, and to Belt's credit, he laid off it.
And he fouls this one out of play. It stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Easy, do not hurt that girl.
Easy with the high five. Yeah. High fives and head rubs.
And he walked him.
Nice at bat. Nice at bat.
Mike was gone last night. Randy Wynn sat in, and we did the broadcast at the Coliseum. He's here with his 2 kids. He did a good job last night.
Well, thank you, Randy, for picking me up. One of baseball's true gentlemen right there. And boy, was he a great Giant.
He's got his hands full right now. I somehow need to get. I do have his cell phone. I'm going to say just keep bringing the food. Keep bringing the food. Sandoval down the left field line and out of play. No balls and a strike. Sandoval again fouls it out of play.
Ooh, that was a good pitch to hit. Haven't seen that many location mistakes with the fastball, and that was one of them there from Hamill.
All right, so I'm texting Randy right now. Just keep feeding him food.
It's a great strategy.
Oh, 2. Sandoval's just going to keep hitting foul balls.
No, I don't think he's sitting fastball. I really don't. I mean, he's late on that last one. Yeah, Randy getting the instructions.
Did he? Is he looking up?
Yep, that's a proud pop right there.
Sandoval again fouls it straight back.
Left arm that he got hit in the elbow with in an at-bat several games ago, where it cost him a couple games. He had to sit on the shelf, still swollen, and is still not 100% by any way, shape, or form.
He got a good one. Belt does have 3 steals.
It really hurts when he straightens his arm out, and cracks the whip, and throws the barrel. That's when it bites him.
Into right center field, and Krisk is going to dive, and he can't get it. And Belt is scrambling, and he's going to go to third. Krisk, who does play maybe a step or 2 deeper than most infielders, could not get to it.
Well, he came close to pulling it off. That would have been a miraculous play. But one thing the Giants will do, and we talked about it earlier in the game, they know they do not have a good arm in right, they do not have a good arm in center. And once this ball kicked out of the glove of Coco Crisp, Brandon Belt was stopped between first and second. But right now it's go time, because there's just not enough arm strength from Coco Crisp, who's a pie thrower, to be able to attack a runner that tries to advance an extra base on him.
He almost caught that.
That would have been a great play. And the Giants know this. And there was no hesitation from flat foot. He says, I'm going. They never even looked at Flannery, and every Giants base runner will do what Belt just did.
Here's Posey. And Buster takes a strike. He struck out looking in the first. So once again, a walk is giving the Giants a small rally here in the third. You see Coco Crisp upset with himself. On the ground and a base hit. And Belt will score, and it's 2-0. I don't know if Buster Posey had both cheeks into that one, but he got enough of it to get it by Lowry.
Well, he's kind of owed a few of these, and you're right, he was off balance. There's not a lot of legs in this swing, but one thing he does with his lower body is put him in position to cover the outside part of the plate. Even with the reach, he let the hands think for themselves. It caught barrelhead and jumped right past Jed Lowry. Looked like Lowry may have had a lean going to second base.
And if he'd had a lean going towards the hole, he probably would have come up with it. Here's a look at it. Yep, he got a late jump on it. So here's Morris. Sandoval now at second. Posey at first. Morris popped out to right field. He's 0 for 1. And he takes that breaking ball high. 1 ball and no strikes. Giants were 0 for 11 in Oakland with runners in scoring position. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch is in tight. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Right in on the hands with hard stuff following that 1-0 curveball. So one thing Hamill has done is he's definitely mixed his speeds very, very well.
Two balls and a strike. 3-1. So Brendan Belt didn't lead off, a 1-out walk. He's good at that. He had him 0-2 and Belt drew the walk. Right now he's trying to catch up on his breathing. 3-1. Morris is going to let it fly if it's a strike. Well, that's not exactly letting it fly. It's 3-2.
Nah, he's not happy about that. Now, the one big change in Jason Hamill's year this year to last year was the slider. And opponents, what they did last year, the slider hit 248 against it. This year they're hitting 161, and that's a dramatic difference. Slugging percentage way down, his chase percentage way up, his whip percentage way up. It's just become a very good pitch with him. He's tightened it up.
And the walk. We mentioned Randy with the kids. Randy's wife, Blessings, turning around and talking to the kids. Mom's barking out orders.
In style, I might add.
Oh, yeah. So here's Blanco with the bases loaded. He drew a walk in the second inning. See if he jumps on something good to hit right off the bat. And he takes it high. Sandoval at third, Posey at second. Morse just walked. He's at first. Hamill at the belt and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Again, off-speed stuff and fastball counts. A lot of first pitch off speed, a lot of 1-0 off speed, a lot of 3-1 off speed. And that 1-0 count really was the time for Gregor Blanco to gamble. Now he gets a little more compact mode. Looking for something up, looking for a mistake he can get in the outfield. Remember the arms in the outfield for the A's. They've got an excellent one in left. They have a below average one in center and in right. So it's not going to take a lot of fly ball, even with Sandoval at third base, to score him from third base if it goes to center or right.
Three and 1.
And those are pretty easy takes.
Well, that was a changeup, I think.
Yeah, another 2-1 off-speed pitch. And with that ball 3, Hamill definitely got this crowd into this pitch.
Out of play, a challenge, and a strike. And it's now 3-2. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. They got the big fist going. Got him.
So the strikeout that he was pitching for, he comes back from 3-1 to get, and he does it with 2 fastballs back to back. And this is an at-bat that's going to haunt Grego Blanco for a while. 93-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball, and he takes a swing through, and now he has to head back.
2 of them.
Back to back. One at the knees, one at the belt.
So here's Joe Panik. Panik with a base hit in the second. And he takes wide, 1-0.
Another off-speed first pitch.
Crawford watching from the on-deck circle. 2-0 to Panik.
Joe Panik in the second inning does this. Goes opposite field. And Grego Blanco at first base. And with the bobble from Cespedes, a green light from Tim Flannery and an easy score. And that's how the Giants took the lead. That was their first run. So another 2-0 pitch. Fastball behind the count. And Hamels goes right at Panik with a fastball. Yep, natives are restless. They're looking for more runs.
Nope, 3-1.
They're not going to get those high breaking balls with Ripperger. He's a low ball guy. Well, we saw a 3-1 challenge fastball with Blanco. Let's see if we see it here on a 3-1 count to Panik. And there it was. And there was nothing really that spectacular location-wise with it. He's just putting the pressure on Panik with that fastball challenge at 92. And they're looking for a Panik attack.
The runners will be on the move. It's 3-2. Down the left field line. This is going to be fouled.
So a 3-2 fastball, much like what we saw with the Blanco at bat.
Sandoval, Posey, and Morse. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now they are going to get a great jump in that it's 2 outs. Any contact, they'll be moving. But you do not have great speed out there right now.
And this is going to end the inning. So the Giants do score 1, but they waste a golden opportunity. It's 2-0 Giants.
Giants in the Community. It's sponsored by PG&E. And today the Giants welcomed about 30 kids from BayCat. Guys, that stands for Bayview Hunters Point Center for the Arts and Technology. Hey, they learned the ropes of a TV broadcast. They got to shoot some video. They took a tour of our production truck, and they conducted some interviews. They're going to put together a video. I hope we get to see it. I bet the best part was the truck tour. Don't you think, Dwayne and Mike? Pretty cool people in there.
No.
Come on.
No. There's a bunch of boring people in that truck. Testing. See, they'll mess with you.
Yeah, they will mess.
No,
they cut you, and don't mess with them.
That's the audio people. 1 ball and 1 strike. Truck is always very interesting. Anytime you get a wall full of TVs, people are going to love that. And everybody says the same thing. I wish I had that in my house. Two balls and 1 strike. And that's fouled out of play. Two and 2.
Nice play. I wonder if he'll share that with his mom.
Vogt was at the plate when Crisp was caught stealing.
Oh yeah, nice going, Mom. Yeah, she can smell it, pass it around. Tell me she's not a gamer.
She'll be keeping that ball.
Good pitch right there. 92 two-seamer just fell out of the strike zone. You throw a pitch like that, and you say to yourself, how can a guy take a pitch like that? Now, I know the A's are selective. They do have good eyes, but that burned the corner right there. And 2 strikes when you have to expand and protect. The only reason you took that is you were fooled.
Now that pitch actually there was not a strike, but it had that good movement down and away, and it remains 3-2. Cespedes on deck, and then Moss. And that's hit high and deep to right. And that ball is gone. 3rd home run of the year for Vogt, and it's 2-1.
And that is an alarm clock that just goes off in the A's dugout, and there will be no shutdown inning for Kane here in the 4th. And that's a 2-strike home run. And when you're on the mound, you're not thinking home run when you got a guy in a 2-strike situation. Come back with a little slider that absolutely gets up there and is a cement mixer. Didn't do much. And you can hit hanging sliders as far as anything.
So here's Cespedes. And he takes the strike.
Take a look at the home run from the high home camera, and you can see the majesty of the big fly.
You got that one pretty good.
Yeah, that was not a cheapie. Well, swinging the bat like that really is a momentum changer in a game. Giants with the bases loaded, 1 out, could not get another run in. A's come back in the next half inning, and on a 2-strike count, they get a home run. Those are the type of at-bats that sting.
Well, the A's have 2 hits. The same guy's got them both. And Cespedes takes low and away. It's 2-2. Moss is on deck. Got him.
2-seam paint inside at the knees. And Cespedes becomes a pair of shoes. bang right there. A nice stick job there by Posey to hold it and give Ripperger, the plate umpire, a good long look.
So here's Moss. Moss struck out in the first inning. Overshift is on as he swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Can't stand away from the fastball and the fastball count. There you see the wishbone defense.
One and two. The guy that coined that was here tonight. We saw him before the game.
And former partner Ted Robinson coming in to say hello.
Always good to see Ted.
It's a little weird watching Wimbledon this year, not seeing Ted Robinson back here in the States getting ready for football.
Not a young guy anymore, Mike. 2 and 2.
That was a waste pitch with the fastball.
So Stephen Vogt with the home run. Got him.
And that's what he wanted to finish him off with. Well, it's a quick turnaround for both these teams. The Giants can take on the A's tomorrow in the finale of this Babe Ruth series. It starts at 12:45. Catch Day Baseball in the City as Tim Hudson going to go for the Giants taking on A's All-Star lefty Scott Kazmir. There are still tickets available for tomorrow's game against the A's. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
Here's Donaldson, who popped out to Pence in the second inning. And Donaldson takes a strike. Kane starts him off with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Nothing in 2.
That's a perfect slider. It was busting hard towards that outside corner, and they just exploded out of the strike zone. You can't throw a better one than that. Going through the same pitch, you can go out a little bit wider. A lot of guys will chase it.
Pokes it to right, and Pence is there, and he reaches up, and he makes the catch. Crawford, Kane, and Pence coming up.
Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, this Friday is the third Orange Friday happy hour presented by Lagunitas Brewing Company. Your special event package is going to include a complimentary beverage and a game ticket to see the Giants take on the D-backs. Call 415-972-2298.
The Mowgli's. And there's the inspiration. Great game for a boat. Giants on top of the A's 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Think they're having any fun out there, partner?
Well, I don't see anybody smiling, so that's my answer to that. And I like to judge that by who's smiling and who's not. But I'm quite sure that they are.
Yep, day's over. Coming back into port.
Crawford struck out in the second. And he chases and misses, and it's 0-2. You can almost see the look in Brandon Crawford's eye, like, how am I going to figure this out?
Well, it's a tough position.
Wide, 1-2.
When you get into a slump, it just comes at you so fast, and what you think is an innocent 0 for 4 turns into a 1 for 28, and you quit. Your life ceases.
Hit out to left field for Cespedes.
Well, time to log on to csnbayer.com right now and decide the player of the game. Your vote counts. Winners will be revealed during Giants postgame live. Follow the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and much, much more. Giants in game live on csnbayarea.com. Log on right now and vote.
Here's Kane. Kane bounced out to second. No balls and 1 strike.
So Hamill tried to have a shutdown inning here. Yeah, they have lots to talk about right now. I do believe he's enjoying the 1-run lead the Giants have.
I was wondering the same thing. Who's got the keys?
It's important.
Low to Kane. It's 1-2. Kane on the ground, and it's more work for Kayasco. 2 outs. And here's Hunter Pence. More trouble on the horizon. Pence has bounced out twice. Once to third, once to first. Nobody smiling. Oh yeah. I just saw a big smile. They're having fun. Feels a strike with that breaking ball.
And the first pitch curveball. Oh yeah, she's smiling. She's a happy girl. 2 pretty good pitches here for a quick 0-2 from Hamill. First pitch curveball that was a good one, and then he backdoors it with sink on the outside corner at the knees. Only guy in baseball that pulls those pants above the knees, Hunter Pence.
Center field struck well. Chris back. It is out of here. And the Giants get back that lead. It's now 3-1.
And that's a swing of the bat that brings the momentum right back into their dugout. And he does it in a 2-strike, 2-out situation. It lit up the Garden.
We got to be ready in the Garden. And here's Belt. on a cool night, as the game progresses, it gets harder and harder to hit that ball out to straightaway center field.
Home run number 12 for Hunter Pence, and that was impressive. And the point you make is a good one. And this is 2 strikes, and he backspins it right out the direction where it came from, right back to center. And watch the garden. It's all about energy. But that really is a big swing of the bat. I mean, there's no shutdown inning for Hamill. And very quickly, the energy comes back in the Giants' dugout with one swing of the bat.
Well, skies this one out to Cespedes. And that'll end the inning. A run on the home run by Pence through 4. The Giants are leading 3-1, and when it leaves the park, it's bye-bye baby. 3-1 Giants.
Is brought to you by North Lake Tahoe. Real summer, real close.
Giants with a 3-1 lead here in the 5th inning. It'll be Lowry, Norris, and Callaspo. Hunter Pence lights up the crowd, lights up the garden. That's something I never thought I'd say in this ballpark 12 years ago. Lights up the garden. Like you're in New York City.
They got a big garden in New York, don't they?
And we're not talking about Central Park either. There's the garden.
Yeah, that's a good ad right there. People are starting to figure it out too.
Check swing roller foul, 1-2. Norris on deck. Outfield straight away for Lowry, who hit a ball out to Morris. And there's that pitch in, 2-2. Morris is going to have to come in hard for this one. He's not going to get it. So Lowry gets a bloop. And that'll bring up Norris.
do tick you off when you're up there and you make a nice 2-strike pitch and the guy fights it off and he flares one out there to open an inning, and you have to let it go, get back to what the matter at hand is, and now he has to pitch for a ground ball. It's just the mindset that you have as a pitcher. You can get mad over that, but get over it.
Norris bounced out to Sandoval to end the second inning. And he taps this one foul. For Lowry, that's the first hit that he's ever had against Kane. In Matt Cain's perfect game against the Astros, Lowry was the shortstop in that game for the Astros, and he went 0 for 3. No balls and 1 strike.
That wasn't a bad pitch, but because Posey set up an outside corner, and that came across the inside corner, he didn't get it. Some umpires give outside the knees, others don't. When I say outside the knees, we're talking about the catcher's knees.
.75 pitches now for Matt Kane. Kane right now looking for the double play ball.
It's one of the best tips I ever heard about pitching, though. Like I say, what do you aim for? What's your mindset when you're looking at a target? Well, everybody looks at the glove. But I had a guy tell me one time, well, look at a catcher's knees and imagine that there's a big funnel right there that's going back to the catcher. And it starts with his knees. You want to throw it in that funnel. And it made sense to me, and it always became my target after that. Plus, a lot of times in situations, you pick up the hitter. You may think about your target, but your eyes will drift off to the hitter. You'll see his hands or him himself. If you're looking at that funnel, it's a bigger target, and it brings your mind into a better concentration point. So for all your pitchers out there, think about it. You might want to try it.
And that's foul.
There's a panda person being raised right. You will figure out your mother's a gamer, babe. Just give it time.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him.
Nice little 2-strike surprise. Kane's curveball night's been good. And oftentimes you make mechanical changes, and pitch that you had that you kind of will use, but use it more in stealing strikes early in the count. And all of a sudden you make a mechanical change, and boom, you pick up more life to that curveball or your slider. And that's looks to me like what has happened with that curveball with Kane.
Well, here's Callaspo, who had a hit taken away from him by Belt in the 3rd inning. Kane stays inside, but it's low. 1 ball and no strikes. We are in the 5th. Down the left field line and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A nice 1-0 pitch. You've seen fastball, but I mean on the knees outside, running hard away from Callaspo. On a glorious night here in San Francisco.
Tried to backdoor him. It's 2-1. Crawford panic, waiting on a double play ball. And this is knocked down by Kane. And he goes to Crawford and he throws it into the outfield. shooting yourself in the foot.
Now, you're thinking double play, and because of that, once you knock it down, you have a tendency to hurry the play. And really kind of leaned awkwardly because of the slant that he had to deal with when he took his stride step towards second. And he slings the ball cross body, and with Crawford's body going towards the bag, he could not fall back and catch the ball. So an opportunity for the A's with sloppy defense from the Giants.
So Hamill's going to try to bunt. He popped out in the third. He's got 3 sacrifice bunts this year.
I think this discussion right here might be about Hamill as a hitter. And he's not a great hitter, but he does know how to use that bat a little bit. So his bottom line is, don't automatically assume he's going to bunt. Be prepared in case he goes into the butcher.
And a curveball, and Hamill bunts it foul.
Yeah, Hamill reacted to that curveball like it's the first one he ever saw as a hitter. Remember, I mean, he's been with the Cubs all year, so you know he's been taking at bats.
Well, as we mentioned, 3 sacrifice bunts. Did he go after that? 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, the bunt should go down the third baseline. They've got good speed with Kayasbo at first, and good speed with Lowry at second.
And there's the good bunt. So here's Coco Crisp, and now the A's have the tying run at second base. Crisp is bounced out and he's walked. Infield, you got to worry about the speed of Coco Crisp. And a pretty good pitch, called a ball. 1 ball and no strike.
So you need some help.
And Bruce Bochy sounding off.
Good ball, it's still a little bit low. Kane wanted it. That's what Bochy was reacting to. Remember, the guy at deck's got all the hits tonight for the A's that have been hit hard. A single and a home run. The other hit, a dead bird bloop to left field off the bat of Lowry, who's now third. So I know you have an open base here, but with the way Vogt has seen Kane tonight, not really sure that he wants to take it.
Well, Vogt hadn't had any bad swings against King. Hit on the ground to Belt. Belt's going to beat Chris to the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Kane pitches through the throwing error, and it remains 3-1. Pitching matchup for tomorrow's game, which is a day game. Scott Kazmir, he's an all-star, and you can see his numbers, 10-3. Tim Hudson, he might be, and his numbers very good. Their ERAs exactly the same. Take a look at the whip, very close. And we'll be on the air at noon right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
Two guys having good years. Tonight has been all about pitching. Tomorrow will promise to be all about pitching.
Sandoval takes a strike. Sandoval is 2 for 2. Posey to follow. 0-2.
Ooh, change up. So Hamill's softballing here with the first pitch breaking ball, and he follows it up with a changeup. You better have a good changeup if you're going to throw it after a curveball, because that's two pitches basically at the same speed, only different types of movement. But good changeups, you can get away with it.
And the high fastball to Sandoval. What about Sandoval is, if you try to trick him with something down low and it doesn't bounce, he's going to put it in play. Well, Hamill steps off the slab. Sandoval rarely will ask for time because he'll just sit there and wait. But this time he does. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I can't imagine that Norris went out to Hamill and said, you know what, throw into the backstop.
Well, you're right. It was supposed to be an add-on fastball, but watch the front shoulder fly, the arm drag, and there she goes. Easy take.
Sandoval bounces this one to Vogt, and he will flip it to Hamill covering. So Sandoval retired for the first time. And here's Buster Posey. Buster had an RBI single in the third as he shot one past Lowry.
Yep, San Francisco being San Francisco right now.
High and foul down the right field line and out of play. Michael Morris on deck. 3-1 Giants, bottom of the 5th. On the ground to Lowry. Lowry gets a tricky hop. He'll take his time.
Well, this Saturday, the Giants are going to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks at 105. Make sure you get to the ballpark early as we honor the 25th anniversary of Dave DeVecchi's heroic comeback with the Giants. You can hear from Dave as well as from some of his teammates as they talk about Dave's courageous journey to pitch again in the big leagues. The first 20,000 fans receive a commemorative DeVecchi pin courtesy of Dignity Health. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
Morris has popped out and he's drawn a walk. And there's that curveball for a strike. Blanco on deck. And this is roped into right field, a base hit. And Morris is going to go for 2, and he's going to make it.
Yeah, taking advantage of the weak arm of Coco Crisp. When Michael Morse gets it going, he goes a lot to right field. Stays inside it beautifully. Found the opposite gap. And once he saw this split, the outfielders, and it really didn't make a difference which guy picked it up. He was going to challenge both Moss and Crisp. Neither guy has a good arm. Morris, who doesn't have great speed. Good heads-up play right there.
Both his hits in the game last night were to right field. Here's Blanco. Blanco in a huge at bat in the third inning. Bases loaded. 1 out. Blanco got it to 3-2 and swung through 2 straight fastballs to strike out. Two and 0. No one wants a new baseball. There's Joe Panik on deck. Out of play. And again, another 2-0 fastball that Blanco's tardy on. And he may not be picking up the fastball. Yeah, either that or he's just not getting it started quick enough.
Well, it all gets down to getting your front foot down early. And I think that may be the problem. Because normally hitting fastballs, especially up, is his strength.
Now about Melvin and the training staff out, something may be wrong with him. It's his thumb on his pitching or on his glove hand.
So he's got a cramp in it. Trainer trying to squeeze some life back into it. Trainers are magical.
They are, but the great thing about what's happened over the last 10 years is no more ethyl chloride.
Well, you're right. You're right.
I swear, when they brought out ethyl chloride, it was the same stuff my mom used to clean up the toilets with.
Well, this thing is locked up. Walt Horn, the assistant trainer for the A's, coming out going, "Whoo, I can fix that." I think the old silver cylinder that trainers used to have on their side, the ethyl chloride.
Well, they just shot it on for anything.
You know who does that now? Soccer guys. Ever watching the tournament? They're using it.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. I remember I got hit in the cup and they started to bring out I said, seriously? Come on. Put that thing away.
Well, training has definitely come a long way in our lifetime. Trainers now they're pretty amazing as to how educated they are.
I'm not sure I've ever seen this in a thumb, at least on the glove hand.
Well, it looks like Walt Horn has figured out how to deal with it. I think sometimes the hardest part about being a trainer is keeping a straight face. But there's a full-on cramp going.
Yeah, and they're not quite at the Ronnie Lott stage just yet.
What? Just cut it
Take
off?
it off.
What's going on? No, there's only one Ronnie Lott.
Yeah. This is a 3-minute thumb cramp.
I've had the 3-second head cramps.
And look, now you can see that they're working on the left wrist forearm.
Well, they're going to break out the massage table here in about another 30 seconds.
Well, I'm not sure how long you wait.
Well, you're right. I mean, pretty soon they're going to have to make a call here. If you can't use the hand to catch the ball with, and it continues to get into a cramp, I mean, you can't pitch like that. It may take him out of the ball game. Yeah, it really doesn't do much to his throwing arm. It's just the hand he uses to catch the ball. So we're good. Now, if you're a hitter like Blanco and you have to wait like this,
sitting on a fastball. And I'm going to get things started just a little bit sooner.
Michael Morse puts on the Hunter Pence pants, and he gets himself a knock. We may see Michael Morse wear those pants that way the rest of the year.
Four minutes, 57 seconds. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Blanco. Hit on the ground to second. And that'll end the inning. Through 5, 3-1 Giants.
Training staff along with infielder Joe Panik participated in the 2014 National Play campaign. Play is an acronym for promoting a lifetime of activity for youth, and it helps raise awareness about children's health issues, in particular obesity. They did some stretching, they did some drills, they did some high fives. What a day had by all. Dwayne and Mike.
Fun time at the yard. It always is. It's a happy place. Even at 1 in the afternoon for a night game. Here's the one guy Kane has had a hard time facing in that Stephen Vogt, and he takes a call strike.
Well, he's been a great shot in the arm for this A's offense ever since he's been put into the lineup.
Two balls and a strike for Kane. He's in his 90s now as far as pitches. And that's hit down the left field line and out of play. 2-2. This was the home run. It was a big boy home run. It went over those seats in the arcade. And that was his 3rd of the season.
Just trying to backdoor that breaking ball just a bit outside. We've seen Vogt take a couple really close pitches on the outside corner tonight. Called correctly.
And he rolls this one foul. That was working its way right in on the handle of Vogt's bat. Is that where it ended up? We're at the Beach Club. And another 3-2 pitch. And he walked him.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy about that. Not leading off an inning, and Kane going to take a little walk here, cool off.
Well, you walking him in front of the beef. Cespedes is flied out and he's struck out. He got caught looking in the 4th inning. On the ground, Sandoval to Panic. Not in time, but they get the out at second.
Talk to me about this footwork at second base, because it's just a great example of protecting yourself with a bag.
Well, it's not that Vogt runs well. The ball just wasn't hit hard enough to Sandoval where you can get comfortable on this. Because you know that hitter's going to be on top of you, and you use the bag to protect you.
Were you surprised he made a throw?
You know what? See, I don't think he's that familiar enough with a lot of the hitters around the league. And I did it as a young player. When you first get into the league, you throw every time. Gold medalist Bob Hayes could be running, and you're going to throw to first. This is shot into left field, a base hit for Moss. So the A's in business now with runners at first and second.
Just an example of a strong hitter fighting off pretty good pitch and having enough strength to be able to throw it into the outfield over the head of a guy playing in the shortstop position, even if he is a third baseman. And very quickly, Gene Machi heading down to get heated up.
Here's Donaldson. Donaldson has popped out to right, and he's lined out to right. And he takes low. So as the pitch count rises, 100 pitches now for Kane.
Arthur Flaherty, one of 3 left-handers the A's have in their bullpen, starting to get heated up.
And a strike to even the count.
Saw the 19 home runs that Donaldson has hit. 10 have given the A's the lead. So he has been clutch with the long ball this year. And that's one of the reasons he's going to be in Minnesota next Tuesday.
Blanco. 2 outs. I do believe Donaldson might like to have that pitch back.
I'm thinking he's thinking, I just missed it. Let's take a look at the sequence. Outside he misses. They set it inside target. Here he evens the count up with a fastball 1-1. And then there's the breaking ball that had a little hang time right up there above the knee.
And we're not talking hang at the belt. We're talking hang between the belt and the knees. Here's Lowry. Lowry's 1 for 2. He blooped the single down the left field line in the 5th. And he hits this one on the ground, and Panic can't get it. Pence does. Pence is going to throw the ball to second. And Lowry knocks in Cespedes. It's a 3-2 ball game.
Well, the one hit the A's have done well with in this series has been the 2 out with runner in scoring position. That is a momentum-building hit here. On the first pitch, they set the target away, and again, it's on the other side of the plate. Lowry, a good middle-in guy, finds a hole on the right side. That's a hit you get when you're hot.
So here's Norris. Norris has bounced out and struck out. The leadoff walk comes back to hurt Kane. No balls and 1 strike.
Pitch number 105 coming up, and Kane is digging deep.
Crawford, side retired. A run on 2 hits. Panic's going to lead things off.
Employee benefits and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
A 3-2 lead for the Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
The pitcher now for Oakland will be the left-hander, Eric O'Flaherty. Just activated off the disabled list. He had Tommy John surgery, and he has done well in a couple of games, a couple innings, 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts. When we first saw him with the Atlanta Braves, I mean, he really threw hard, good sink, really nasty stuff, and then he had the elbow blowout. They rebuilt him. He's not throwing quite as hard. He's right around, he's upper 80s, but still with a good hard slider.
So Panic is going to lead things off. In tight to Panic. Swing and a miss. Affelt now up in the pen. Same pitch, same swing, 1-2.
That's his bread and butter right now. In his heyday, he had low 90s and sometimes mid 90s sink and that hard slider. Right now, that hard slider still looks pretty hard. .92, that fastball.
Well, he's got to be thinking he's going to get a slider again. It's up the middle and a base hit.
Oh, nice two-strike at that. First time he's ever seen O'Flaherty. So the Giants get their leadoff hitter on.
Here's Crawford.
First time tonight the Giants have been able to do that.
So Crawford steps up. He struck out. He's flied out. And he shows bunt, and he pops it back and out of play.
Yep. Boys are here.
They're in force. Crawford takes low.
That's the one that's so hard to lay off. Flaherty trying to take advantage of it, throwing it in an 0-1 count, heading the count, a chance to go below the strike zone. So many guys follow that pitch and swing at it.
And a bunt. And everybody's going to be safe. Arias is being called back. Kane is going to hit.
Well, Stephen Vogt really felt that this was the best chance to get a play. He almost pulls it off. And once he got to the ball, there was nowhere to go. With O'Flaherty's momentum going towards third base as a left-hander, he had to regroup, swing around the mound, and come to first base. It was going to be an easy race for Crawford to win. And now with the runners getting on here to start things off and setting up a runners at first and second, nobody out, Bruce Bochy thinking, why burn a guy off the bench when I can have Kane bunt, who's a good bunter? Kane is going to be out of this game, but he will try and get one down here.
And Kane gets that breaking ball and he fouls it off his foot. And now he's going to have a word with Tim Flannery.
Well, and the word I'm sure is if they crash too hard on the corners, you have an opportunity to go butcher, go do it. Kane practices it all the time. Show bunt, swing.
And he takes this one for a ball.
You let the defense determine if you're going to go into a butcher play. You're not going to see aggressive play from Donaldson at third base because he has to stay and cover the bag. Ideally, if you're Kane, you want the ball to go down the third base line in a bunt if you're going to bunt.
One ball and one strike. Breaking ball again, 2-1. Pence is on deck. Kane bunts it foul, so it's 2-2.
Now you just don't try to be so fine with the bunt. With 2 strikes, you bunt really back to the pitcher is not a bad play. Just don't bunt it back too hard. If indeed they keep the bunt on with 2 strikes, which I think they will. So now the pressure swings. Now the pressure's on O'Flaherty.
Yeah, he has to throw a strike, and he's got to pick a pitch that he can throw a strike. And Kane bunts it foul. Time for our Togo's big play the Togo's way.
Now the fourth inning in a 2-1 ball game. With 2 strikes and 2 outs, Hunter Pence knocks it out. Home run number 12. It brought momentum right back in the Giants dugout.
Here's Pence. Pence takes a strike. Swinging and fouling out of play. Another fastball is 0-2. Pence 1 for 4 lifetime against this lefty. Hit up the middle. And it gets by Callaspo. Tanich scores, Crawford to third, and it's 4-2.
And right there, Hunter Pence picked up Matt Kane.
Really a play if you're Callaspo. You got to keep it in the infield if you can. Realize he's making the play on the outfield grass. But
right back up the middle. They had the shift on. It hits it to the back end of Callaspo, and he can't come up with it. Okay, if this had been a 2-out situation, they may have challenged Coco Crisp right there. 1 out, no.
so here's Belt. And Belt with a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Belt is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 3rd inning.
Jim Johnson heated up.
Swing and a miss by Belt. It's 1-2. Giants need to put the ball in play here. And they did not get the job done in the 3rd inning. They did score a run. An opportunity to score more in the same situation here.
Well, and it really is the momentum builder. This at bat right here. Pure strikeout situation for O'Flaherty.
Two and two. And a full count.
Good pitch, good take, and not an easy take either. And I'm sure with 1 out, 3-2, because of O'Flaherty's ability to put the ball on the ground, that you're going to see Hunter Pence go here. I would be surprised if he didn't go.
And they'll check on Pence.
Bob Melvin making that decision to have the ball thrown to first base, thinking that Pence is going to go as well.
Three and two. Fouled at the plate.
And Pence was not going. You're betting on contact if you're sending him. And that may have been the deciding factor because of how tough O'Flaherty is with that slider on lefties and a lot of swing through from that pitch. Bochy was thinking, I don't want to risk possibly having to strike him out, throw him out in this inning.
Got him.
And there's the fear come to reality. And it is the slider. That is the kill pitch for Brandon Belt.
Well, see if Sandoval can pick everybody up. Sandoval's 2 for 3. He has faced O'Flaherty before. He's 2 for 6 lifetime with a double. And this is out of play, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he was jumping out at it too. He really lunged. Panda person. Easy to see who her favorite Giant is. You can make a lot more fans right here with a base hit with 2 outs.
The gap between Vogt and Callaspo. And he had a good rip at that one. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he didn't lunge for that one.
Three hits in the inning and 2 strikeouts. Crawford at third, Pence at first. Pence goes, it's in the dirt, and they'll let him go, and it'll be a stolen base. That's his 8th of the year, and the easiest one that he's stolen this year.
Yeah, that's a good time to go. He's concentrating on Sandoval here, not paying a lot of attention to him. But you know what? It's a big play because he puts himself in score position here.
And this is going to score a run. Crawford scores. Pretty tough for Norris to keep that one close. I'm saying wild pitch. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with wild pitch. If there was an official score in the country that put down a pass ball after this, he'd be out of a job tomorrow. This ball hits out in front of the plate, Scud style. It's off of Norris. It almost bounces into the stands. Wild pitch, 100%.
Sandoval taps this one slowly, and Lowry is throwing, and Lowry gets him, and that'll end the inning. Giants score twice, 7th inning coming up, 5-2 Giants. brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Kane and Hamill were your starters. Hamill departs, allowing a couple of earned runs. Matt Kane threw 105 pitches, pitched well. Vogt, he's been the hitting star for the A's today. And Hunter Pence has a home run and also an RBI single. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
The pitcher now for the Giants will be Jeremy Affeldt. This is his 36th game that he has come into. 2-1 with a 1.72 ERA.
Here's Callaspo.
And for Jeremy Affeldt, he's going to take on the heart of this A's lineup. It's Matt Kane, the fan, very happy about the performance that Kane put on tonight on the mound.
Callaspo down the right field line, and not sure if it was in the seats or not. Nope. From our vantage point, we lose Hunter Pence at some point.
I think it may have hit off his ankle.
Yeah.
Talk about A for effort.
Full throttle, baby. And the curveball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nick Punto's on deck. Get on the ground to Crawford. Crawford gets a nice high.
Well, for Jeremy Affeldt, that's what he likes to see when he comes into a ball game, that sinker of his is working. So ground ball out to start off an inning. Got to feel pretty good.
Here's Punto, switch hitter.
See, Nick Punto always seems to be on winning teams.
Yep. Kind of like that Jamie Carroll guy that used to bounce around.
Yep. Good ball player. Does a lot to help the team.
He started in the game yesterday, hit 9th and went 1 for 4. He had a big double off of Madison Bumgarner, as you see Jim Johnson in the bullpen. Went to 1 for 2 lifetime against Jeremy Affeldt. The one hit a double. It's a pretty close pitch, but he does not get the call. 2-1.
Punto does a lot of things you see a leadoff hitter do. Takes a lot of pitches. Goes where the ball's hit. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Makes you work.
So Punto in the driver's seat. And Affeldt just pours in a strike. It's 3-2. Blanco. 2 outs.
Nice come back down to count 3-1. How are they doing in the candlestick sweep?
That's the candlestick sweep. And that is right down the right field line. You can see the foul pole. Dennis Higgins once interviewed that pole. It was awesome.
Yes, he did. And they do have good attitude down there.
You see, why don't we do a game from there? We got to do it from where it's 40. Actually, not 40 degrees. We'd have been happy with 40 degrees.
You're right.
It's a place where they keep the beer cold.
The reason they have it out there.
Coco Chris takes low.
Yeah, you make a good point.
1 ball and no strikes.
Nice breaking ball, 1-0.
I think every broadcast crew on every major league team should have one Harry Carey day.
Yeah, where you can drink.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. In honor of he's a Hall of Famer.
I think you should do that.
And you get to pick the day.
So anything you say that day does not count?
As long as you don't cuss or say something stupid.
Well, I mean, if it's a drink day, good chance of those two things happening.
Probably not. We're pretty good. There you go.
Yeah, that pitch right there will make you cuss.
Look, we're 2 old ball players, and we haven't done it yet in, what, 20-some years.
All right, here we go. Ready? And right at you. Look at Buster Posey's face. Not a bad thing if you're a pitcher every once in a while to do it.
Not close. 3-2.
Well, now you've got a little conversation that starts to intensify with yourself. Before you were just having little reminders mechanically. Now you've got a guy out there thinking, what the heck's going on? And this guy behind the plate's thinking the same thing.
All back. Bullpen quiet. Vogt is on deck. Affeldt in a 3-2 pitch coming up to Coco Chris. And this is popped out to Hunter Pence. And that's going to end the inning. Affeldt with a 1-2-3-7 for the Giants. It's going to be Buster Posey. Posey's 1 for 3. He's going to lead things off. Lead for the Giants when it's time for a change thing. Speedy, oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
The pitcher now for Oakland, Jim Johnson, 35th time that he's come in. And really, this is a guy who was supposed to be the closer the last 2 years with the Orioles. 51 saves and then followed up with a 50-save season, and it just did not happen for Johnson here in Oakland.
And Buster Posey takes down low.
However, of late, he's been starting to throw better, and he's starting to get command. When he's right, you're going to see a fastball that's low to mid-90s with big-time sink. Hard curveball. It's got a 12-6 break. and a changeup that will throw a lot to left-handers.
And he's got extraordinary stuff.
Yeah, he's not an easy guy to catch.
Three and 0 to Posey. Johnson coming in, the third pitcher for Bob Melvin. Hamill, O'Flaherty, and now Johnson. And Posey takes a strike. I'm not sure he agrees with that. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Now, I think Ripper Joe, the plate umpire, is a guy that will look for strikes. 3-0. He will expand a bit. I have no problem with that.
Hit on the ground to Donaldson. Donaldson's throw is a bit high. So he's retired. Posey is 5-3, and here's Morse.
Well, I think Posey feels that he just had a walk taken away from him. He's not real happy about that outcome.
Here's Morris. Morris has popped out, walked, and he's doubled. And he fouls it out of play.
Hunter Pence, Michael Morse, good friends. And Morris, as he's climbing out of his mini slump, going to the Hunter Pence look.
Look out. Skips into the seats. He's 0 for 3 lifetime against Jim Johnson. Romo gets the nod as he jogs down to the bullpen.
Well, he's going to start thinking about Cespedes, who's scheduled about second in the 8th.
This is off his fist to Lowry. And Lowry will toss on the boat.
Well, this weekend, the division rival Arizona Diamondbacks going to be taking on the Giants July 11th through the 13th. Sunday's games are 1:05 start. It's Angel Pagan Bobblehead Day. Presented by Chevron Extra Mile. First 40,000 fans will receive a Pagan bobblehead sliding into home plate. It commemorates the 2013 Inside the Park home run, walk-off home run against the Rockies. You want tickets? Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
Blanco is 0 for 2. Walked and scored in the second. No balls in 1 strike.
There's the changeup off the fastball that you're going to see Johnson use a lot against lefties. Command has not been Johnson's friend, and it's really what has made him inconsistent this year. It's taken him out of that closer role.
Down the left field line, that's going to be a souvenir. It's 1-2.
For the A's, I mean, they were fortunate. They were deep enough to be able to absorb the disappointment of Johnson not being the closer. Sean Doolittle has taken on the role of closer. I mean, he's going to be an all-star come Tuesday. Gives you an idea of how good he's been. But that's the 95-mile-an-hour sink that was so effective for Johnson in Baltimore.
Hit on the ground to second. And that will end the inning. So, Vogt will lead off, but Yoenis Cespedes due to his second when we come back as we head to the 8th.
fan photo contest. It is brought to you by AT&T. So get your Twitter accounts ready, get your photos ready, attach it, and hashtag it to CSNBA fan photo. Tonight's winner, Steph Chu. She's from Castro Valley. She caught a ball from Brandon Belt. That Brandon Belt sure is a nice guy. Dwayne and Mike, make sure the fans include their name and hometown so they can get on a future broadcast.
All righty, Castro Valley. Well, once Bob Melvin took Vogt back and put out Gentry, then came Sergio Romo. When it's time for a change, think Speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. And the pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes.
For Romo, 37th time that he's come in. Still getting used to situations that are not as they are for a closer in a 9th inning save situation.
Out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not that they are any less pressurized as they are as a closer. However, it is a different deal. Juan Perez in the game on the switch. He's in left field now with Michael Morse out of the game.
Gentry's been swinging the bat. He's 2 for 7 in the series.
Lots of speed.
Trying to hit the outside corner with that fastball, just missed. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
He hasn't had the confidence in his stuff, and he has had a lot of counts that have been counts that favor the hitter, and that is not like Romo. When he's confident, he's always on top.
And he gets Gentry to swing at that slider, 2-2.
Slider has always been the signature of Sergio Romo, but that has been the pitch of inconsistency throughout this period where he has slumped. And that was a good one.
Popped out of play, threw another good one. It stays at 2-2.
I think you saw Gentry leaning. And once you see that as a pitcher, it opens up the inside corner. Now Posey sees it as well. And Romo will go inside with a fastball. He'll also go inside with a slider on occasion.
Got him.
But a perfect slider, and he finishes him off. And that'll give him confidence. Outside corner at the knees, and the no-dot slider does its thing.
Yeah, there's post-game live. There's your host, Rich Aurelia, Greg Papa.
Two good ones there. Both guys a lot of fun to be around. Love talking ball. Andrew Baggerly in the back. Pride of Northwestern.
Ever see sometimes you wait in line at the grocery store and they'll have the magazines and they'll have a big title page. Stars without their makeup.
Yeah.
You just saw a couple of stars right there without their makeup. Swing and a miss, another good 2. And I think they're both looking pretty good, I might add.
Yeah, they can pull it off. Let's take a look at it. Good no-dot slider, and Cespedes is trying to hit one off the Coke bottle sign in left field. Does not get cheated. And he really pulled his head off that pitch.
This time he takes it. It's 1-2.
No hangers tonight for Romo. He's been snapping on pretty good breaking balls.
Got him.
Again, perfection, and another swing through strikeout from the right-handed hitter. Drop it right off the outside corner, let its movement take it away from the zone, and hope they chase. And Cespedes goes fishing.
Here's Moss. Overshift is on for Moss, and he takes the strike.
Break out the wishbone.
Romo comes back in. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Donaldson is on deck. Should Moss reach? Moss did reach in the 6th with the base hit. And this is hit the panic in shallow right field, and that'll end the inning. It worked! It worked! The wishbone!
It worked!
What an idea!
I love that thing!
Bottom of the 8th inning. And Johnson will face the bottom of the Giants lineup. It'll be Panic to lead things off. And Panic's got a couple of hits.
Hey, that fastball's got some weight on it.
It does. He's nasty. Gentry is now in right field, and Moss moves from right to first base. And Panic bounces to Callaspo. That's 4 ground balls thrown by Johnson. And here's Crawford, and now Brandon Hicks has come out of the dugout, so he's on deck.
It really has been command for Johnson that has really set him back. I mean, he's got 21 walks in 37 innings this year. Last year, in 70 innings in Baltimore, he had 18. In the previous year, of 68 innings, he had 15. It was never an issue.
Crawford had a bunt single in the 6th, and I think that's going to get him going. Crawford fouls this one out of play. Two home runs in this game. Pence a solo home run, and Stephen Vogt a solo home run. One to right, one to center. Crawford down the left field line and out of play. Don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants Postgame Live. And you can see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Crawford, center field, and it's gonna fall as Chris trapped it. So Crawford's got a base hit.
Well, you're right. Maybe that bunt in the 6th inning did turn him around.
It's going to be unbelievable.
It was yesterday. That ball was caught.
He might still make the All-Star team.
Now let's take a look at a trap job. And a pretty good sell.
So Hicks gets pulled back. It's going to be Tyler Colvin. Yesterday, Tyler Colvin did this.
He was the offense.
Kept the Giants from getting shut out. He's already figuring to hear all about the 5 shutouts in 10 games.
Yeah.
Put that to rest.
Well, then that was a good swing of the bat.
It was a very good swing of the bat. Especially when you're doing the morning show the next day. Quick toss, Crawford back.
Thanks for doing that for me today.
The guys were great today, Murph and Mac. And they were pumped. I really appreciated them setting things straight. 1-0.
Well, take the morning off tomorrow. I'll pick you up tomorrow.
Stay tuned in the postgame wrap coming up. And Michael also talked about the game with Murph and Mac tomorrow morning on KNBR 680. One ball and no strikes. Colvin takes a strike. It's 1-1. When you do the show, when do you set your alarm?
7.
Well, lately I've been setting my alarm at 7:37.
And going on at 7:39.
Yep, that's it.
That's a little harsh. Got to have at least 1 cup of coffee.
It's really a good way to say something stupid and get fired.
Yes, it is.
Down low to Coleman. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And we've all done it.
No, I'm like you. It's usually maybe 6:45, depending on the night game the night before.
There's been times where that 7:30 feels like 4 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. Colvin fouls it back. He had a rip.
Oh, he just missed that one.
It was a really nice woman that works at KNBR. Her name is Tanika. We call first, and she picks up the phone. And I know she can tell immediately what kind of show it's going to be just by how we sound.
Hello, Tamika.
Well, she's always very kind. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember Rob? Rob used to be the guy.
Yep.
Rob would give us a full scoop on what was going on.
He jumped ship.
He did. I think he's in Las Vegas. I think he owns his own station now. Well, how about that? Went from answering the phones from us. Colvin out swinging. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Pretty good breaking ball right there.
Pence has had 2 hits, 2 RBIs. 1 hit was a home run, the other an RBI single in the 6th. Crawford gets back, and he almost, if Moss would have kept the glove on him, he'd have been out. Watch what happens when you slip off a base. Oh.
No, you're right. If Moss had stayed with him, they'd have picked him off.
Down low. So Pence waiting patiently on Johnson. And he'll take a strike. Johnson, chin down, looking into Norris. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, Johnson has pitched. This is his 2nd inning of work. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. He's got 27 pitches. That's about right.
Yeah.
Three and 1.
Well, the pitching coach is always talking about 15 pitches or less. Dave Rigetti likes 14 or less per innings. And the thing about a guy like Johnson is he's going to get a lot of innings where they're under 10 because of the sink that he has. Get a lot of quick outs, 3 pitches or less.
See what kind of rip Pence takes here. And he pops it up. Lowry will put it away, and that'll end the inning. So we will head to the 9th. It'll be Donaldson, Lowry, and Norris, and Casilla coming in.
Santiago Casilla, the new pitcher for Bruce Bochy, and just take a look at what he's done this year in 29 games. 1-1 with a 1.08 ERA for Casilla. 3 saves already as he has inherited the role of closer. 24 strikeouts in 33 1/3, just 28 base runners in 33 1/3.
Facing Donaldson. Crawford has this one roll up his arm, and he's going to throw him out anyway.
I want to talk to you about what goes on in an infielder's mind when that happens.
Panic. And then you got to try to find it, and if you can, pick it up with your bare hand. And Crawford does all of that, and he still throws out Donaldson by a couple of steps.
The ball was hit so hard. I mean, he did have time, but here being able to find it to the bare hand and get his feet, and he also has a cannon for an arm. But panic, huh?
Panic. Here's Lowry. Lowry shows bunt, and he takes down low. Yeah, you're scrambling because hey, you're taught. If you don't catch the ball clean at short, forget it. Well, like you said, because the ball was hit so hard, you almost played that like a third baseman. Lowry hits this one to Panic. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Norris.
Nice sinker right there. I mean, that's the one thing about Casilla. He gives you 4 pitches and 2 types of fastballs. And they all work.
Norris tonight is 0 for 3. All right, now Casilla's ready. He and Buster on the same page. 1 ball and no strikes. And that's at the knee.
Nice tight little cutter there to take away a 1-0 count. When we first saw this guy, he had 2 kinds of movement. Fastball at 4-seam, maybe mid to high 90. It was a good fastball, don't get me wrong. And he had a slider. And now he's got more pitches than a lot of starters have.
1 and 2.
And that's 94-mile-an-hour sink. 2-seam grip.
Side and low, 2 and 2. Kane, Affeld, Romo, Casilla. Got him, and that's the ball game. So the Giants pick up a win, and they do it at home. And you really got to talk about Kane goes 6 innings. He allows the 2 runs, but then after that, Affeld, Romo, and Casilla, 9 up, 9 down. What a terrific job by the bullpen.
It really was. And you also have to talk about clutch hitting, and I think that Hunter Pence was a major factor in tonight's ball game. And with the long ball and with a late inning RBI, I mean, his team played good ball up and down the lineup tonight. Now you see the final 5-2 Giants, and the Honda player of the game is going to be Matt Kane for a big league stop job. He comes in there and absolutely deals. Made a little correction in his mechanics, and he winds up spinning a dandy tonight. 6 strong innings before he gives the ball up to the bullpen with a lead. He is our Honda player of the game.
So the Giants on this first game of this 5-game homestand. And I think what the Giants would like to do, Mike, is obviously they'd like to beat the A's, but also establish something at home before the All-Star break, and now they have a chance to do that.
I think that's a huge key as to how they're going to fare from here on to the end of the season. They have to regain that magic here at AT Park. And doing it against the A's is critical because it was starting to wear on the Giants fans, being able to watch the Giants lose 2 in Oakland the way that they did tonight. They got back on track. Nice team win. Let's go down to Amy G.
All right, Dwayne and Mike, we've got Hunter Pence, and just a really well-played game for you guys tonight. And last night you said something that stuck with me. You said, we need to focus on what's happening right now and learn something. So what do you feel the biggest differences were tonight versus the last 2 games?
You know, they're totally different. Every game's completely different, and we got some big hits. We got a lot of base runners on. Kane pitched outstanding. But there's still a few things we can continue to get better on. So I think you're constantly trying to improve as a team, constantly trying to have better at bats, play better defense. So play a little catch and keep on going.
You mentioned Matt Kane. He had a great performance tonight. It's hard to believe this is just his 2nd win of the season, given some of his outings. What did you see from him tonight?
Well, I'm in the outfield, so you got to ask Buster what you saw from him. But we got outs. He gave us a great chance to win. Worked quick, so those are the things. When I'm in the outfield, I got to be focused on where I got to be and all that sort of stuff. So I can't tell what the pitch is doing from out there, but only giving up 2 runs is it's a pretty good outing.
Yeah, he definitely kept you guys in the game. And we've been talking about breaks really not going your guys' way as of late, but you got some tonight. But when you get them, how important is it, Hunter, to take advantage of them and maximize that opportunity?
You just keep playing. You don't focus on breaks or not breaks. You keep it as simple as you can. Good at bats, good defense. Playing as a team, knowing the situations, understanding, learning, and adjusting. And so, with this game, you got to constantly adjust, and that's the fun and the beauty of it.
Last one for you. Big fly tonight for you in the 4th inning. And I know last night you were talking about having some fun with the A's fans, but how much fun is it to give your fans a home run and a win at home?
We're out here to win. That's what this is all about. The fans, it's been electric. Both stadiums over there it's a rowdy atmosphere for this time of year, and it feeds into us, and it's definitely a lot of fun. So we're enjoying it, and this is I try to. I normally downplay it. Normally I don't get into it, but it's so rowdy that it's an intense series.
It's been fun to watch. Congratulations on the win tonight. Dwayne and Mike, let's go up to you.
All right, thanks, Amy, and thanks to Hunter Pence. And Hunter does not like to talk about himself. He does not like to talk about what he does on the field. He would rather divert it to somebody else. But the bottom line is he hit a home run today to center field, and it's a tough park to hit it in at the time of the day he did it. And they needed it at that time.
Well, it really was a momentum swing of the bat, because the A's in a 2-0 ball game, all of a sudden with 2 strikes against Stephen Vogt, boom, it's 2-1, and they brought momentum back into their dugout for the home run, and the fact that the Giants had a runner at third base, less than 2-out situation. They could not add to a run that they'd already scored in the 3rd inning. So momentum was starting to swing over in the A's dugout. Now all of a sudden you get to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here comes Hunter Pence, and looked like it was going to be a real quick inning for Jason Hamill, and it's a 2-strike, 2-out scenario for Hunter Pence. Boom, he hits a fastball over the wall in center field. That gave the Giants back a 2-run cushion. Now, that was the first emotional swing of the bat, and he had another one in the 6th inning when, with runners at first and second, Matt Kane could not get a bunt down. And Hunter Pence comes up, gets a base hit, scored that run, and all of a sudden that non-productive out was forgotten. So 2 big swings of the bat for Hunter Pence really kept momentum in the Giants dugout. And right now, this time of year, especially against this A's team that is very good, it's all about momentum.
Giants win their 50th game. They're 50-41. All right, final score, Giants 5, A's 2. East Sheeran's Giants postgame live with interviews and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio.